Welcome, everybody, to the Cast from the Coast. My name is Adam Oz, and I'm joined, as always, by Josh Lambert and Tim Johnson. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this live episode of the Cast from the Coast, where we are going to have a good conversation tonight about a more recent movie that Tim will tell us in a minute. But just so that everybody's aware, we are live on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and all that good stuff. So, Tim, please tell us, what are we talking about tonight?
We are going to talk about a brand new movie that came out, part of my favorite horror franchise. I was really excited to see this, and it was supposed to come out last year, but it didn't because of the world and the craziness in the world. We tonight are going to talk about Halloween Kills.
Stay tuned, everybody. All right, we're back. Tim, please give us a synopsis of Halloween Kills.
It's not a lot, doesn't need to be a lot, but
No.
to the point. The saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode continues in this next thrilling chapter in the Halloween series.
Whoa.
Magic.
All right, so it has been since 2018 when we saw Michael Myers return under David Gordon Green and Blumhouse Pictures, doing the retcon, I will say, of the Halloween universe, and kind of
Most of it.
redoing the timeline. Yeah, most of it. And this movie actually kind of plays.
Right?
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I just posted that video from 4 years ago on Facebook of Tim going to see Halloween. Everybody laughing at Tim because Tim's, oh my God, look at this! You know, atypical Tim. Yes, where the fuck has time gone? It's been a good show. Watching the movie over and over again. I'm a huge fan of what Blumhouse, David Gordon Green, and them did with 2018. So I was stupid excited for this. Pissed off like the rest of the world that it was going to be, a year or two late coming into theaters. But we took the opportunity. So Tim, Josh, myself, Brendan, who unfortunately obviously is not here, and a friend of ours, Andrew, all went to go see it opening day. We went to an early show because we had the day available, and I was going to be working the haunted house that night. So there we go. The movie, as it stands, picks up right away, literally to the moment after that the 2018 ends, and we basically start to see the aftermath of Michael's murder spree throughout the night. And then it jumps through some amazing flashbacks from 1978.
Oh my God. Oh my
Brilliant.
God.
Brilliant. I mean, we were sitting in the theater the whole time going, holy shit, did they just like deep fake him?
No.
Loomis. It was beautiful.
Well, Christopher Nelson is a fucking effects genius, right? Right? But the guy who they got to play the Tom Jones Jr. already looked like Loomis. So I don't feel like, I mean, they said how many prosthetics? It was
There was like a
like
5-piece prosthetic.
yeah. Um
But they picked this guy because he also did the voice.
yeah,
The
and
guy the
he
guy's like a
works on the
voice
set.
actor.
He's a construction worker for the movie. Like he worked there, right? But it goes
Or
to
is it yeah.
show that like practical effects always work. Like if you
Hmm.
practical effects in the right hands, like it like I'm sitting there going, this can't be fake. Like this can't be fake because there was no like uncanny valley or anything. Like it looked like the dude was fucking Loomis, and like yeah, it was great. It was great. Like that was the highlight of the movie for me. That was one of the big ones anyway. Because I was like, how can you do a flashback to moments after and not have Loomis be there, right? Especially after in 2018 making the statement that Hawkins is the one that fucking stopped Loomis from shooting Michael. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I got to see that now, right? And we did. So the only thing that I think could have made it better was maybe like a Jamie Lee Curtis in the back of a fucking ambulance or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah. No, I totally can see that. I mean, there were little things that they could have probably done, but ultimately, like, you're just improving on something that's already fucking amazing at that point. Like, I was already blown away. Anything else would have just made me even happier
yeah.
at that point.
I mean, to be, you could no, you're right. They could have done it, but I mean, you can get that effect digitally through, LUTs and filters and shit like that. No, you're right. I mean, I do honestly think they probably use the same kind of lenses that they used for
Yeah.
78. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think about it too. A lot of the VFX that you see are shit that people just buy off the shelf. You know, a $20 plug-in VFX. I mean, we have a fucking amazing crew of actual Hollywood pure visual effects artists working on this movie. You know, there's no doubt in my mind that they paid somebody a good sum to actually make it look like fucking vintage film.
What they should
You
have
know what I
did
mean?
was fucking get Dean Cundy to fucking show up and like, hey, do you want to shoot these scenes for us? Because he was the DOP for the first one, right? For
Yeah.
'78, and like it was a lot to do with like his look, right? Of lighting and all that. So yeah, they probably did. Right.
Hmm. I mean, it could come down to just the fact that they use like old grainy looking lenses and shit, and you know everything was just kind of a real nice vintage look to it. But either which way, it was fucking dope. Some of the scenes when they were like, you know, when like Lonnie was like running towards the camera and shit, it was kind of panning in and stuff, and just the whole vibe of it was just amazing.
My favorite shot though was when Michael was standing there surrounded by the cops with Loomis in the
Oh,
fucking door, and it pans up just like it did at the beginning of '78 with 6-year-old Michael with the fucking clown outfit standing there. Like that shot to me was like my rating at the end of this movie is based on that fucking shot. You know what I mean? Because it was like it was art. It was art, and it's like, I really hope someone kind of does a super cut where they kind of like add that extended ending, and that's the new ending for '78. I mean, some people might think that's blasphemous or whatever, but fuck you, it's my opinion.
it's so true.
Um, no, because I'm not gonna lie to you two. I've been getting in a lot of fucking online arguments with people that are apparently fucking Halloween purists, And I consider myself a fucking Halloween fan. I've been one since I was 11 years old. I fucking love this franchise for the most part. There's some bad movies, but that's the same as Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like there's some bad movies, but at its core, I fucking love this franchise, and I love 78 Halloween. That is my favorite fucking movie of all
Hmm.
time. One of them, anyway. And like I'm getting in arguments with people because their opinions differ than mine, and it's like,
Well, the one thing that I can't really figure out is, and I mean, we were talking about this kind of stuff before, you know, a big point of the movie for you, Tim, and it's the same for us, the masks, right? So the
yes,
more
The
you go
Mask.
into the movie, so one is fucking pitch perfect. It's a beautiful mask. Two, it's pretty good. It really is. Like it's
I don't like it. Like I feel like I'm not putting down Dick Warlock and what he did as the Shape. His version of the Shape was
that's
perfect
right.
for that movie. But I'm more of a
Correct.
Nick Castle fan, and I like the way the mask fit
Mm-hmm.
on his face. Dick Warlock was a completely different shaped head,
It was
right?
a
You
different
got fucking
shape.
Nick Castle with the fucking a longer face and the big fucking head of like shaggy afro hair, right? So like it made the mask look different,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, um, I just Halloween 2 is I like Halloween 2. Um, but I really got behind 2018 and I'm really behind Halloween Kills because of the mask. This feels like
Yes.
Michael Myers
But
to
but
me.
the point that I was trying to make though is that like it's all
I
good.
went on a tangent
But
that
like
wasn't even
but like
close to
one
your
is
point.
one is
Sorry.
the fucking ultimate mask. Two, it looks pretty decent. Like it's not total shit. But then you go to like four and five and fucking six and seven and eight, and the mask just progressively changes and looks like shit throughout the whole thing. Like I don't like any of the fucking sequel masks.
What was the one that they literally went off? I can't remember what Halloween movie it was where they literally went and bought a
Well, there was like
licensed Halloween
seven.
mask and used
I'm
that.
pretty sure that was
Was
seven.
it Seven
Because no,
Resurrection?
seven's H2O. It was H2O. It was seven. Because they ended up changing
I
the one scene where he comes face to face through the window with her. There's a different cut where it was a
yeah, didn't
different
wasn't
scene.
one of them like fucking
Yeah,
CG or
they
something? The
like
CG
CG'd
mask.
one of the original masks on his face and changed it. So when it was in theaters, it was like the same dopey fucking mask that was in the rest of the movie. But then when it hit like DVD and shit like this a couple years later, they like released like an updated version. And when he hits the fucking door, it's like the blackened
Yeah.
eyes and a decent looking comparatively mask. And it's like, the fuck? They weren't even happy with their own mask, you know? It's fucking stupid.
What was the one? I can't remember. It was one of the ones from the Thorn trilogy where his hair was like slicked back and it came
Five.
all the way down.
Because the
Like
neck was also
was it
super
five?
fucking
Because
long on it.
yeah, so I found out last night that it's rumored that that's actually Greg Nicotero's
No
face
way.
because K and B made the mask for that movie, and they fucking took a life. They had the life cast of fucking Greg Nicotero, and that's and if you kind of look at it, you're like, yeah, I can kind of see it, like
Oh
you
man.
know,
I call it the
but
Ruby's mask because it looks like a fucking Ruby's costumes version of the mask. Like not even Trick or Treat Studios quality. So whatever. Yeah,
well,
masks are a big thing
yeah,
for this movie, and you know, a lot of people will say, you know, they shouldn't have retconned. You know, this movie kind of did something slightly different. Even though starting with 2018, it retconned things, they actually paid a slight living tribute to number two in this by using footage from part two.
yeah, legit. I was fucking shocked when it showed fucking um,
The,
the
the, the body on the stretcher.
yeah, the reveal scene of her on the
Mm-hmm.
stretcher with her dad. Like I was just like, holy shit, like that's literally from two. But I mean, to be fair, where else are you going to get
Unless you
that
recreate
footage?
it.
And it was supposed to be that night, and
Mm.
you know, like that still would have happened. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Like it's just I'm on the fence with that. I see where you're going because a lot of this movie was paying tribute to not only Halloween 2, but there was some nods to obviously Season of the
Mm.
Witch, like
Love
they
it.
did with
Love it.
2018 with the masks, um, which is cool. And there were some other little nods in there from some other movies, but like you're gonna retcon everything, then do something original. Guess.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's like I have very mixed feelings about this movie. Very, very mixed feelings, as we'll probably get into as we talk about it. But I mean, to just put it right out there, I wasn't angry when I left the theater.
Far from it.
That first time with all of us, like we were giddy and we were talking about the fucking
Mm.
kills and like this movie did what it was supposed to do. It was upon further watchings that I began to see all the cracks, all the cracks.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. 100%. No. I love the update that they did to the mask in 2018. I thought it was absolutely fucking dope. And then to take it one step further and have the mask, like the mask is synonymous with Michael Myers, period. It's the shape. So I feel that what they did with this movie, and they're going to continue it with Halloween Ends as well, is that they've basically paid tribute to who Michael Myers is. In the first one, he was young, he was evil. It was the
Apparently, one of our viewers has commented to me that Josh cannot be heard.
speak again, Josh. Hmm.
I can hear you just fine, Josh, like over the stream, but I'm listening on Twitch and I can't
Keep
hear.
talking. Keep talking again, Josh. That is really weird. Just 1 second here. Thank you for mentioning
I'd
this,
like to
whoever.
I'd like to say thank you, thank you to my cousin Sean who's watching. Co- Cousin Sean.
Thanks for looking out, cuz.
Okay, let me just see if this helps it in a bit here. Cousin Sean, give us the thumbs up if Josh can now be heard.
Yeah, so the mask. I don't know. Personally, I really enjoyed the the burnt mask. Like, I think I like it more than the original. But I
Yeah.
don't have a huge attachment to the series either.
Okay. No, agreed. But like I was trying to say, it's almost like the first one. It's fresh, it's new,
Yeah,
it's he got it off the shelf. 2018, it's aged like him. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. The mask basically embodies like this old man look, even though Adam, you can attest to that. Latex does not age like
Latex
that,
does not age like
right?
that. That's correct.
But the fact that they kind of they told a little bit of a story with this um, you know is pretty cool. And I mean the fact that the kills mask like that's the mask is dope. Like
Yeah,
the mask is dope. Like it's I actually like it better than I
I
think
do too.
2018. Like there was points just the way that it was lit where I was like, he looks fucking evil. Like, I'm
Well,
terrified
they
of
made
Michael
a point to
Myers
do
in this movie.
several extreme close-ups, and you can never see his eyes. Like it's just darkness.
No,
You
and
can
you
just see a
shouldn't. You shouldn't.
void
I mean,
shell,
Mm-hmm.
just a soulless beast.
Yep. And once again, it's, the embodiment of the shape himself. At the end of Halloween 2018, we think he's, gonna get caught in the flames. We knew there was a trilogy behind this, so all we could think to ourselves is, well, how the fuck is he gonna get out of this?
honestly, I thought the mask was gonna melt to
Which
his
would have been
face,
dope too.
and like he couldn't take it off. Like it was almost like, like a skull or something. You know what I mean? But I mean that might have been kind of corny or whatever. But so I got notification from cousin Sean. You can be heard now, Josh, but the volume for you is very low.
Okay,
What the fuck,
I
Adam?
just I just jumped his levels. Josh, nothing's
Hey,
changed. I don't
this
know. Something's
guy
changed on your end or
Adam out
some
here
shit.
trying to silence me
You know what, Josh? I'm
due to
gonna
my
fucking
my
mute you.
hot takes on Nightmare on Elm Street. He's out
I'm
here
gonna
trying to silence me.
I'm gonna fucking mute you. Aaron would appreciate that. You and your hate for Phantasm.
If you're
Mute
comparing
the
Nightmare on Elm Street
bastard.
to Phantasm, you got some issues, you man.
Yeah. So I mean, this mask looks like he crawled out of hell. And to be stupid honest, when we first see Michael Myers in this movie, when the roll up screen opens up and he walks out to the firefighter, I fucking jumped. I cheered. It was fucking awesome because all I could think to myself the whole time was, how's he getting out of this? He was behind one of those fucking screens, you know what I mean, in
Yeah.
the basement, and it was just beautiful. Josh, we need to jump in to hear what you have to say about this movie. I want to hear your notes.
Sure. I watched this in a theater, so I wasn't really taking notes, but
A theater.
a couple of my
You didn't do it mentally.
well, I mean, jeez, that was days ago.
I
He
mean,
can't remember what he had for breakfast.
You're right. A couple of my big takeaways. I love the premise of the entire town, like pitchforks, torches. Let's go get this guy.
Iron.
Yeah, iron in hand,
an iron.
whatever weapon they get their hands on. That's always one of my biggest pet peeves in these kind of movies. That man, there's like 80, just fucking gain up and get him. Just go get him. And I love that this movie took that and ran with it. And they're like, not only is there like 10 of us that are ready to go beat the shit out of Michael Myers, we're going to get every single person in this bar, in this town, in this hospital to get whatever weapons you can and literally start hunting this guy. And then we get the scene of like 40 townspeople crowded around Michael Myers, just beating the ever living piss out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Only for Michael Myers to get up off the ground and kill every single one of them.
Surprising kills too. I mean, spoilers, everybody. You know what I mean? If you're watching a Halloween Kills review, obviously we got spoilers here, but yeah, I mean, he just murders the shit out of everybody, and it's amazing. It was amazing.
My favorite scene was that, and I think honestly it could have been even a little bit longer. There could have been a couple more of him just taking their weapons against them and just annihilating them.
Well, I loved it.
See, and the thing is, I originally thought I liked it. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the things that I was kind of disappointed in, because you got this really solid choreographed scene at the start of him coming out of the fucking burning house and attacking 12 firefighters, first responders, and like you get this really cool angle POV shot of one of the firemen fucking falling down, and you're seeing Myers kill people over there. I wanted that for the mob scene. Like I wanted it better choreographed, and like I get this kind of like really close personal backlit shot of just the kill, but that's not what I wanted. Honestly, what I think would have been cool is if they would have did a one take very similar to what they did in 2018, where it was just one continuous shot of him just walking and people are throwing themselves at him and he's just fucking taking them down whatever way. Like I feel like that's that's what I wanted to see. And that scene, even though it was cool, he was killing all these people, it was the
I
way it
can
was
agree.
shown. It was
I
the
think
delivery.
it's the concept and the idea that does it for me. Like, I love the idea that the entire town rallied against him, like full on Frankenstein.
Yeah, no. I did
And
too. I did too.
the flaws of the execution might have been overlooked on my part just because I thought that was such a cool concept.
So,
But you also
Yeah.
only seen it the once too, whereas I watched it twice in theaters and then twice on my TV through the courtcy of Peacock.
okay, I'm just
Tonight
no,
sponsor.
there's no fucking sponsors.
Peacock.
All right, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I know that you think that was filmed kind of detrimentally to the way that the movie is, but I looked at it this way. He gets up, and the way that they filmed it was almost like we seen Michael Myers' focus.
Like
It
the
was
resurrection.
it was almost like he had bloodlust, and all he could focus on was ramming that fucking knife in this guy's throat, taking the baseball bat and beating the fuck out of them. But it was
But
such a focus.
I can agree from that point of view. I can, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not. But I've seen this series of shots before. They did it in The Walking Dead. Like, it was the exact same thing where they were going through a crowd of zombies and they didn't want to show all the kills. So it was like really quick, and it was backlit. It was black background, but like one source light. Like, it was almost the same thing. And it's like, it's not how I want to see this. Like, it was good. It was good. The kills were good. The effects were good. I love the gore. Like that one shot where it's like you're over the guy's shoulder and you just see Michael fucking come up and like the blood just goes everywhere. Like, that was dope. But I just felt that could have been better.
So,
but that focus idea though, that's I never looked at it like that. So that's
one of the biggest
very
complaints
insightful.
I'm reading about online, I know you guys have mentioned it as well, seeing it, is that people are upset that he kills too many people in this movie.
Boo
What?
hoo. Boo fucking who.
Like, isn't that the whole thing? Isn't that...
It's literally
that's what I want to
called
see.
Halloween Kills. What do you expect them to do? Have a fucking tea party with them?
So maybe it's this though. Maybe it's this. Whereas when people first watched this movie back in '78, it's almost as if Michael had a purpose. He basically goes after Laurie Strode and every single person that had contact with her that day, right? Because she fucking came to his house and she shouldn't have, right? So it was almost like it was a focus. Like, these are the people that he's trying to kill. Fast forward to fucking 2021 and we got Halloween Kills, and it's like, if you're there, you're dead, right? So maybe it's these purist way of, he shouldn't be killing like that. Like, that
I've
goes.
heard this argument before.
Right?
Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy was so focused at the first, he just wanted to kill the Nightmare kids, the Elm Street kids. And then by the last one, he's just killing everybody. And you guys were shitting all over him.
Because every town has an Elm Street.
I wasn't shitting
You're
on him.
Shitting
for
on him
killing
for
people.
dumb fucking
That's my favorite
kills
thing
in
that
movies.
he does. That's my favorite thing he does.
The best thing he
people,
does.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the best thing, right? But I didn't have a problem with that. I love seeing this very aggressive force of nature. Like, that's what he's supposed to be. I like the first one where he's, stalking and, hiding and stuff. I got an argument with a guy online who was basically saying, Michael seems to have a lot of time to display bodies. That's kind of stupid. He's never done that before. And I'm like, he's been doing that since '78.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he purposely stole his sister's headstone and then displayed the body of Annie under it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That
Like,
person's never
he's
actually
been displaying
paid attention.
bodies since the first one, right? Like,
he stabbed.
I can't remember if he did that in any of the sequels, but I know for sure in Halloween '78 he does it.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't seem
absolutely.
out of
And I
character
mean,
at all.
and they make a point of that too. Like when Brackett is talking about how his daughter was killed by Myers, he's like, he desecrated the body of my daughter.
body.
Yeah,
Mm.
because he fucking splayed her out on the bed underneath Judith's tombstone. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's got time to pack up the bodies. But I will say that is in Halloween Kills, that's probably my least favorite entire portion of the movie. I thought it was a little disconnected, and I'm hoping that some form of an extended director's cut, Tim, that you said is coming out, kind of plays to that. So there's that one scene.
But I don't know if it's going to be the whole movie. I just know
So
it's the
Okay.
ending.
what
That's
part
extended.
of them laying out the bodies is it in particular? The Little John, Big John, where he lays them out
No,
like the postcard?
yeah,
All of
of
it,
it, I
all of
guess.
it. Even the in the
Oh.
park, and the fact that it was going back to how he displayed the bodies of the two police officers in Laurie's
Yeah, but I
front
love all
yard,
that. That
with
was
the
all
jack o'
awesome.
lantern head.
It was
Yeah,
awesome,
I did
and I'm
too.
glad that they showed the jack o'
I did
lantern
too.
head again in this one, just to kind of show it, right? But
Yeah, I
no,
did too.
that was probably, in my opinion, the worst part of the movie. The disconnected scene was like when Myers is chasing Lindsay out of the park and she hides behind the tree down on the
Mm.
embankment, and he leaves. He clearly fucking leaves the area. And then when Tommy and them show up, the bodies are on display and she's like muddied up and under
Cowering.
the bridge cowering. And I'm like, something happened? Question mark?
Yeah, but to be probably something did happen, and we're gonna find
Yeah,
out that story
but
in
that's what I
ends.
want is because right now it seems disconnected.
But I mean, 2018 did scenes like that too, that we didn't have payoff until this
Yeah.
one. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess I'll be a little pissy if Ends doesn't have it.
They
Yeah.
killed off a lot of alumni in this one. Like they brought back pretty much anyone they could find to kill off.
well, it's just like,
Yeah.
please, like, I do not want to show up in this fucking movie
Like
anymore.
just
Like,
give the fan what they
right?
want
Like, I
and
know,
kill
Yeah.
them.
I
right?
get
Like, but
200
I
tweets a
have to
day
say,
asking me to be in the next Halloween. Just kill me, please.
my favorite returning alumni, like from the legacy character, was Lindsay. Like, I was just like, okay, I like Lindsay. Like, because she didn't really have much of a part in the fucking
No.
78, right? But I
Yeah,
liked her in this.
absolutely. Okay, so let's talk just a little bit. Um
Yep.
Was Josh done?
Yeah.
Were you done your
he only
thing?
had
You
a
didn't
couple
have
of,
nothing else?
you know,
Just a couple of my favorite
just a couple of
points.
his favorite points.
A
But
lot of people
let's
were shitting on the comedy, but I didn't think it was over much. I
let us
didn't think it
talk.
was too much.
Let us talk about the notes of one Mr. Brendan Dunphy, who could not be here tonight, but has emailed me, and I have not yet actually read these notes, by the way, so I'm going to read them live.
Fucking no. There's no
There's no fucking
excuse.
excuse.
There's no excuse.
He's I don't know what the fuck he's doing tonight, but whatever.
He's watching us.
We
right
love you,
now.
He's
Brendan,
slacking.
but
That's what he's doing.
you're slacking. Okay, here are Brendan's notes. So please keep in mind, folks, I did not write these. This is the humor of Brendan. Boo!
Boo! We start booing him.
All right,
These
here we go.
opinions do not reflect Adam Miles.
That's right. The opinions therein, do not reflect those of mine. All right, Halloween Kills.
That's what we're
2018
talking
question
about.
mark 2021 question mark. I think he doesn't remember what year it is currently. Okay. Fresh off of his landing from outer space, we have Halloween Kills starring William Shatner as he struggles to connect with those still left on the planet Earth, and in doing so begins to murder and kill with horrifying efficiency. I know.
Him anymore.
All right. Although I didn't see the previous installment of this franchise. The fuck?
Oh.
Okay. I don't
Why did he come
know.
with us?
I can only assume that it was a montage of his training to become space worthy. This, of course, led us into one of the opening scenes of the movie where he has an altercation with a few emergency first responders. Now, I don't know exactly how that turned out because I drank too much coffee that morning and had my half of my pop already and had to pee.
True
But I
fact.
can assume that after inquiring with these professionals, he made his way elsewhere to go do the old murdering thing. And murder he did. Over and over. First, he killed an old man and a lady who were
Not a
just
fucking
enjoying their
haiku.
evening.
Jesus.
I know. Oh, Brendan. This is a pretty big fucking email, by the way. Over and over. First, he killed an old man and a lady who were just enjoying their evening. The old man actually played as an uncle, I believe, in the hit TV show Rescue Me, a show about New York firefighters after 9/11. Now, in that show, he was a retired firefighter, but I still count this as him actually killing a firefighter. I can't believe he would kill a firefighter.
That's unfortunate that he missed a scene
Yeah,
when
exactly.
he had to go pee.
Especially after his last conversation, I assume, with the other first responders. Shit. Anyways, I forget what happened after that, but something about Big John and Little John and it being Halloween and the town being really mad at William Shatner and deciding to hunt him down, and some crazy old man, meanwhile, others were trying to stop them from going crazy on Captain Kirk and his obvious stunt double who broke into the hospital. What the fuck, Brendan? There's a lot of violent scenes, and if anybody has watched Star Trek, they know Captain Kirk is a master at close quarters combat, and his skills are unmatched. It was near the end of the movie when they finally had him cornered and they beat him down within an inch of his life. However, like all great stories, the hero rises up in the final moment to lay the beat down on his assailants, standing victorious in the very end. But heroes don't need cheers or applause. He stood up quietly on his own 2 feet and walked off into the sunset as a stoic champion. Should I mention at this point, I really can't remember how the movie ended, but I would assume he reunited with his family, hugged them, and kissed them goodnight. In closing, this was a tale of overcoming adversity and soaring to new heights, achieving what some of us can only dream of, and handling the backlash of those who are jealous or envious of those accomplishments. The movie also took place during Halloween, so that was a fun setting as well. I'll save his actual rating for the end. Wow. All
Pretty
right.
good.
Good job, Brendan. Good job,
I am
Brendan.
amused.
I'm amused.
Yeah.
All right,
that was
Tim,
good.
do you have anything prepared for your portion of this show? Because I don't know how much there would actually
Well, we
be.
didn't talk about special
I
We
know,
talked
but I'm
effects.
about the
asking.
mask
I'm
and the
We
asking.
special
normally
effects
talk
at the
about special
start.
effects here.
But I'm asking. Do you? Is there much? Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
always do. It's always fucking.
Good. Okay, fine. All right. Talk a little bit more about the kills. Let's talk about the special effects in this. This is one of those movies where a lot, you think, like in retrospect to some of the priors and movies from the 70s and stuff like this, that you're going to get a lot of like the quick flashes and like the cutaways. This movie goes all out. This movie has like
Mm.
like fucking tendon slashing, face stabbing, freaking
Oh,
baseball
the
bats.
armpit stab.
Oh
That got
man.
me so bad. Stab right in the
Oh, the
armpit.
armpit stab.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that really hurts thinking about it. Like,
you're right. I
and
just
and
remembered
laying
that.
on the ground and you can see the fucking blood coming out of this. Like, it was well done that way.
Um, I had a lot of favorite
Okay.
kills in this, and I have to say that there was more kills in this that I liked than pretty much any previous entry in a Halloween movie. Like, there's always like one or two, but like this had like a solid like 4 or 5 that I was like,
Because he
oh.
kills like 50
So
people. Seems it anyways.
I really liked the fucking woman that got fucking that he kicked the door open, the gun go boom, right?
Yeah,
I fucking love that. I don't know
it was
why. I
dope.
loved it. I love the knife to the eye. Like some people are saying that it was cringy, like
That was
bad,
awesome.
poorly done. But I thought it was great. Thought it was great. Um, the fucking armpit.
Oh,
Oh, like who stabs there?
dude,
Michael Myers.
There's like
that was one of the most
pretty
uncomfortable
serious
ones.
arteries in there too, I think.
And then he fucking squeezes his fucking eyes out,
Yeah.
pushes them right in, and that looked all gross.
There's like
All
the
pussy.
mountain from Game
Um,
of Thrones.
yeah. I really liked the kind of intimacy of Tommy's kill. Like I just really liked how they were staring at each other, and like you get this really, really tight fucking shot of Michael and the mask, and you can't see the eyes. Like I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Um, and then the boyfriend. Cause like he's picking him up and down, going through the fucking railing of the steps. And then he fucking just slams him down, and you're like, he's dead.
No? And then it shows him like gasping for air.
Right? And then fucking, Allison goes, "Come get me, you motherfucker," or something stupid. And he just calmly comes down the steps and then just goes, and then turns and like just like a fucking steering wheel just goes. Whoosh. It was so like that kill was great. It was very satisfying. I thought the special effects in this were really good. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Christopher Nelson. Like I feel like his effect shop is pretty good, because he's done a lot of stuff for like Quentin Tarantino. Like he's the one that did all the special effects for Kill Bill. He was even in Kill Bill Part 2. So yeah, I've been a big fan of him for a while, and like I felt like his effects work was.
Yeah. So to be honest, I love a lot of the kills in this movie, like you were saying. But I think that the two that really stood out the most to me, and this is just because of the way that it was portrayed. First off, the old couple that lived beside Laurie. So when he walks in,
do you want to? I didn't know that she was the fucking graveyard attendant from the 2018.
Notice that.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she's the one that goes, "I don't know what the big deal is about this Judith Myers." Right? She goes, "There's another one that has Bernie Mac. I can understand that, but who the hell is?" First of all, you work at fucking Haddonfield. Like, you don't know the significance of Judith Myers. Like, you know what I mean? She knows all about fucking Laurie Strode.
Oh, she's just that,
bitching
the
at her husband about
white
it.
girl down the street.
Okay.
No, well, yeah, she'll kick her ass. But those I forgot to say those kills. That whole scene was.
I found that it was just a very, like you were kind of using the word earlier, intimate. Like when he walks in and she's got the knife, and he looks over and he grabs the fucking elongated fluorescent, and he smashes it, and he just walks it. Like he doesn't like violently. He like walks it into her fucking throat.
And then he hasn't had his practice.
Oh man, but
he's out of touch. That's why her husband's sitting on the counter and he's like going through every single knife in the kitchen. Just
yeah, but why would he lose practice? He was killing people earlier that night because that's the events of Halloween 2018.
That's beautiful because he does that and then he like breaks it in her neck, and all I can think to myself, just the fucking shards. Like you're not surviving that anyway. You're like, at the very least, like fucking, people survive slashes to necks. Heck, we had one in this movie, Hawkins. He survives the slash to the neck, right? But like, you're not surviving that shit. Like you're
not
done.
With all them little particulates, exactly. The mercury from the fluorescent.
No, that's fine.
You're done for, bad.
And then he throws the boyfriend or the husband on the table, and he just and you can see I call it the T-Rexing. He goes like this, and he looks back, and his arms are kind of up like this, and he looks over at the knives, and he picks up the next one and just goes. But just the way that he's fucking handling it, he's like, what else can I do?
I don't think that. I don't think
he's exaggerating.
But it was awesome, and I just love the fact that he just kept stabbing.
And like how each stab he just went.
Yeah, it was like
he's just looking for like the best knife.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, this is the one I'm taking this evening.
Yeah, none of these are good, but this one's big, so I'll just take that one.
Yeah,
it was great. Those were probably my favorite. That was probably my favorite overall kill scene in the movie. Because he gets her and it's fucking ouch. And then he's just fucking stabbing the guy with multiple fucking knives, turning him into a fucking human charcuterie board. You know what I mean? Like just
see in this, but that whole scene feels like it was lifted from 2018. Like it was that same style of going to someone's house and kill them, whereas the rest of the movie wasn't like that at all. Where it was like he was on his path back to his house, and whoever got in his way.
That was just a stop to get a knife. He needed a knife for the evening.
I think it was. I think. Well, he was in the bathroom. I think that's where he bandaged his hand up.
Guys, jeez.
He probably had to take a dump.
When the guy opens up the door, he smashes the light. What are you looking at? I'm not finished in here.
Everybody's like, "Goddamn enchiladas!"
I'm pooping. I'm
There's a guy in
pooping.
a monster mask pooping in the bathroom.
He's pooping in the bathroom.
Oh man, it's a
Um,
spooky dookie. All right, Tim, it is time for you
Yes, sir.
to give some trivia, because it is that time for some trivia time with Tim. All right, Tim.
All right. The masks of the three corpses wearing that are being worn on the merry-go-round are obviously a nod to the silver shamrock mask from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Which is, I think it's cool that they're incorporating those because obviously that's the one original sequel that didn't have Michael Myers in it. And actual firefighters from the Cannon Air Force Base Fire Department appear in the film's opening.
Cool.
Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know if you know this, but Jamie Lee Curtis reprises her role as Laurie
off.
Strode
I thought it
in
was
this
her.
movie.
I don't know.
Yeah. And in doing so, surpasses Donald Pleasance, aka Dr. Loomis, with the most appearances in the Halloween
Well, that's not
franchise.
True, because he would have been 5. 1, 2, 4, 5, and
Yeah,
6.
he was in 5.
Yeah, but he's dead.
Right.
Yes, of course, Josh.
That's not very fair.
Well, technically, to the character appears more than Laurie Strode now. Just not
True.
Donald Pleasance.
It's true. I think this is interesting because I was kind of wondering it when I watched it. 12 pumpkins are featured in the opening title sequence.
I love that title sequence.
With the last one indicating Halloween Kills as the 12th installment of the Halloween franchise. So all 12 of those are recognizing all 12 fucking movies.
They used the wrong pumpkin.
I think that's a
I thought that was great.
Well, no, it's very clear. 12 pumpkins.
I didn't
12
say
movies.
I made one up.
What do you mean?
That's the bullshit one, Tim.
I didn't even say I was doing that. Okay, as the film was shot digitally, the film grain filters were used for the new 78 flashback scenes. So no, they were done like I said they would.
Gotcha.
No one listened to me. All right, the premise of the Haddonfield citizens banding together against Michael Myers is similar, seemingly smaller, the vigilante militia that also forms against him to protect Jamie Lloyd and Halloween 4 Return to Michael
That movie
Myers.
doesn't exist.
Well, it doesn't, but it does. One of Michael's victims tries to strangle him with the stethoscope, reference to Halloween 2, where Michael strangled Bud with the stethoscope.
Not Bud.
Bud. David Gordon Green recalled when they attempted to find a yearbook photo of one of Michael Myers' victims from the 1978 film. He came across a yearbook photo of Bob Odenkirk that he thought resembled John Michael Graham. With rights issued solved, so Green could use Odenkirk's photo instead of the actual actor. So when they're showing the newscast and they show Bob, like the fucking guy with the glasses, that's Bob Odenkirk.
Fuck's sake.
Like, do you remember when it showed PJ Souls? And yeah, that's Bob Odenkirk. Nick Castle noted that when recording the sounds of breathing as Myers, he didn't recognize his own appearance in the film. Principal photography began on September 12th, 2019 in Wilmington, North Carolina. In the original 1978 film, while inside the Myers house, Brackett and Loomis discover a dog in the living room that has recently been partially eaten, while referred to but never shown until this movie.
Gross.
Partially eaten.
Does that imply that Michael Myers was eating the dog? Wow. Okay.
Nurse Marion Chambers tries to shoot Michael in the head, but discovers that her revolver is out of bullets. This references back to Halloween 2, when Loomis tries to shoot Michael in the head, only to discover he's out of bullets, making Michael stab him in the chest with a scalpel.
Okay.
Oh, that moment where she's like, "Hey, Michael, this is who did he say it was for?
Yeah.
This is for
Dr.
Dr.
Loomis.
Loomis." And she was ready to shoot him right in the head. And she's like, "Oh shit!" It's like that's the moment you knew you fucked up right there.
Yep.
Yeah. The logo for Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, as seen in this film, is taken directly from the now decanonized Halloween 2, which I did think was cool. Apparently, producer Ryan Freeman lobbied for a Danielle Harris cameo in this film, but was later vetoed by everybody. Because that poor girl has been in way too many Halloween movies. Dr. Loomis, played by the late, great Donald Pleasance in Halloween, and many of its sequels, surprisingly, wasn't brought back through special effects or VFX trickery. He was played by the set constructor Tom Jones Jr. in his very first film role, who bears an uncanny resemblance to Donald Pleasance, but was then dubbed over by Colin Mahan. Yeah, so it's not even him,
Oh.
Adam.
I don't know. I
lies.
didn't read
It's
the
fucking
trivia.
Who previously voiced the Good Doctor in the audio recording of Halloween 2018. Digitally adding the grain to the footage completes the illusion that these scenes were shot in 1978. Jones Jr. was originally supposed to appear as Loomis in an unused opening scene for Halloween 2018 as well, but would have retconned the ending of 78 and have Michael Myers try and kill Dr. Loomis, after which Laurie Strode shoots Michael. However, the makers ultimately choose not to go through with this and continue with the original ending of Halloween 1978 in this movie. I agree as well. Early in the movie, the wagon stolen by Michael Myers from Dr. and Nurse Marion Chambers at Smith Grove Sanitarium can be seen parked behind young Hawkins and Pete Gabe during one of the flashback sequences in 1978.
Sweet. Never noticed.
I didn't notice that either. When musing how Michael seemingly becomes more powerful, the more fear he instills, Laurie uses the phrase "the true curse of Michael," which recalls Halloween's subtitle, "The Curse of Michael Myers," which Adam said to me during the fucking movie.
Didn't I? It's like, oh, the curse of Michael Myers.
It's like, shut up, you bastard! I'm gonna watch. But I didn't say. Busta Rhymes, who was in Halloween Resurrection from 2002, was almost included in this film, but was scrapped. Julian, the little boy being babysat by Vicky in Halloween 2018, has a small recurring role as an interviewee on the news. There's a lot of fucking trivia for this movie just coming out. Yeah, so Laurie spends most of the film in the hospital, like in Halloween 2, and this is the only Halloween movie in the whole franchise that has Laurie Strode in it and not once shares a scene with Michael Myers. And with that, trivia time.
That was something that kind of disappointed me, to be honest. We never get to see a badass battle with the two of them.
That's all being
as we normally do.
So do you guys? So I told you guys that I read the leaked script last year.
Don't do that.
Because the Last Jedi hurt me in ways that I will
never recover.
Tell you, and I will never recover from that.
You, Tim?
So I don't trust movies that I'm excited for. Within reason. And I didn't go looking for it. It was just it was there. No, I didn't. So I read it, and a lot of the movie is pretty much the same, except for the ending. Karen dies in both of them. Spoilers. Why the fuck
Good
are you still
riddance.
here? But the way she dies in the script, I feel is more badass. Like that scene is more badass. But I understand now why they changed it, because the original plan was to have Halloween Ends also take place on the same night. It all took place on the same night. So the original ending was played out the same. Karen's looking out the window and her phone starts ringing. And as she goes to get her phone, Michael appears right behind her and fucking kills her. The exact same. But then Michael picks up the cell phone and starts breathing into it, very reminiscent of, 78 when Laurie hears him breathing and stuff. And the next scene you see, and this was shown in the trailer, is Laurie fucking walking towards the camera through the fucking hospital with the knife in her hand, going to look for Michael. Right? And that's how it ended, which I feel is badass. And that is the extended ending that you're going to get on the Blu-ray, because it was really good. But because they now changed their minds and they're making Halloween Ends take place 4 years later, it doesn't make much sense to show Laurie walking out of the hospital only to have the movie
I
take
still
place 4 years later. Even though you could just say
That's what
she
I was
didn't
just
find
thinking.
him that
Like,
night. You know
it
what I
could still
mean?
be badass. They could have saved that for, like, if they do it right, they could save it for the beginning of Halloween Ends. Like she calls and Michael picks
Yeah.
up the phone and she heads off, but she never sees him. And it's like now 4 years later, she's in a worse place than she was because now she's lost her daughter, you know, as well. So,
It's like the Amityville house. Why don't you just stay away from it? Like, what do you just
mm,
stay away from the Myers house? What's wrong with you?
no, no, go after him.
Yeah, but you know what? That logic works in every movie. Just
Just
don't
don't
read the
read it. What are you
Necronomicon.
doing?
Old
Put it
fucking
down.
dusty book. Yeah, I'll fucking read it.
Okay.
And then you wouldn't have a movie, though, Josh.
All right, gentlemen, it is time for us to relay to the crowds our final thoughts on this movie. And tonight, I start with Josh.
Okay. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a huge connection to the Halloween series. I've not seen a lot of the sequels, to be honest. Um, the 2018 was very good. I enjoyed it a lot,
Mhm.
and this was an excellent follow-up to it. I think we get to see Michael Myers in like his full beast form, where he's just killing like crazy, and they really up the ante with the death count on this one for sure. Um, there's always like this debate that goes on: is Michael human? Is he possessed? Is he like demonic? Is he resurrected every time he dies? Because there's a couple things that lead towards those and potential theories and stuff in the movie, and that's always interesting to me that we never really get a definitive answer. Um, this has some really good kills and some pretty unique stuff that I enjoyed. The armpit stab was
Oh,
cringe enough for me to like every time I see that or every time I hear about this movie, I'm going to think about that scene with
mm.
just a stab right in the armpit and just his brutal force. Like I feel like he could just take someone's skull and just crush it into dust. Like he just seems so inhumanly strong. Um, I'm going to rate this one an R, and I highly recommend.
Very nice. Very nice. Tim.
Okay, so when I saw this with you guys, I was fucking jazzed. I drove home all the way back to Truro with a big smile on my face, listening to the soundtrack again. I
Mhm.
was fucking pumped, right? And like Adam said earlier, we saw this, I think it was the
Yeah.
11:30 a.m. show. So it was like the first show of the day. But then I went to go see it later on that night with my girlfriend.
She ruined
And this second viewing, no, she didn't. She really liked. She really liked. She saw 78 many times, but she never saw 2018, and she really liked 2018. And the fact that this is a sequel to 2018. So, um, but it was that second viewing that I don't remember the dialogue being this cringy. Because I remember one of the biggest gripes that I had was the fake Michael Myers running through the
Hospital.
the hospital. Now, there was a piece of pertinent information that I missed when I went to go pee. When it showed the you know, we're still dealing with the bus crash. It was a news report. We're still dealing with the bus crash, and there's two fucking, two reported fucking missing
Inmates.
Inmates or whatever. One of them being Michael, and one of them being fucking Discount Penguin, because that's what he
Umbrella.
reminded me of with the fucking umbrella and shit. Right? So I don't think I would have been as mad, or it would have made more sense if I didn't miss that. Now, when I saw it the second time, I was like, oh, because the first time I was like, that fucking the mob chasing through the hospital, like, I just want to see Michael Myers. Come on.
But it made more sense the
I just-
second time
I just
around,
want to see
because when
that.
you seen that, there was only two people to choose
It
from.
did, but I still felt like that fucking scene dragged. It dragged. And like, I don't know, just the whole, I don't know. I don't know. So that ruined it. And then like the third and fourth watching at my house, like the dialogue is fucking atrocious in this movie at points. Even from fucking like experienced actors like Jamie Lee Curtis, like some of the dialogue is just fucking terrible. And some of the situations, like people are just dumb at points in this movie. Let me give you two examples, and they both take place in the park. Marion and I'll call him Dr. Steve and Nurse Gertie. Okay, the married couple in the Halloween costumes.
He was the nurse. She was the doctor.
They're dressed
Yeah,
as
but
the doctor.
he was
and
dressed as the doctor and she was dressed as the nurse. Anyways, so she gets the gun from her husband, and then Michael shows up fucking causing havoc on the car. He gets on the roof. He's fucking pulling at Marion's hair, right? It's like, I remember you from 78, and I got you now.
in a recreation of when I
Right?
was on top of the car then.
Do you remember this? So, anyways, Nurse Gertie fucking leaves out the window, and she disappears for 2 minutes. So her husband gets a fucking dope stab to the fucking eye. And then Marion fucking, shoots blanks. Shoots blanks for fucking Dr. Loomis and dies. Then this fucking idiot shows up 60 feet away and starts shooting at him, where she could have just got out of the car and he's on the roof. Bang, bang. Like, I get that horror movies got a horror.
Freaking out.
I get it, right? I get that. But, that didn't make sense. And then there was another, Tommy Jarvis got on my fucking nerves in this movie, and it sucked because
Tommy Doyle.
Yeah, or not Tommy Jarvis, Tommy Doyle. Yeah, Tommy Jarvis got my nerves too. Tommy Doyle got on my nerves because he was like really overacting, right? Like he'd be all by himself with the bat, and he'd be like, "I'm gonna get you. You're out there, Michael.
Me and old Huckleberry."
And then him and Lonnie show up to the park. The park, it's established that you can see the fucking playground from the road. Okay? All right, spread out. Let me know if you see anything. And they get fucking 5 feet away from the fucking playground. They're like, Tommy, look. And like, that's when they see the bodies. Like, it was shit like that. It's like, you guys are professional fucking directors and script writers, and
I give that one a pass. I'll
year.
tell you why you got to give those two incidents a pass, because they've both been at the bar all night. These people are drunk. These people are drunk AF.
I guess. Then they shouldn't be driving
It's
around.
the mob mentality.
This is old school.
Mob rules.
They're driving and they're drinking and they got firearms and weapons.
So anyways, there was a lot of problems like that. My new characters added to the fucking Halloween mythos is fucking Big
I
John
love
and
it.
Little John. I thought they
They were
were a
awesome.
delight. Some people are saying that they were cringy, but I fucking
They
love
were
them. I
awesome.
thought it was great that these two fucking real estate agents end up in the Myers house. Like, and that's their dream home. And like they got it looking like fucking like it's pretty nice in there, right? And I don't know, like I just there was a lot of moments where I was just very cringy. Like those three little kids, um, that their shit was just awful. The prank was a fucking you little assholes. Like it's not even
Yeah.
funny. Like it's not even funny, right? And the fact that I personally have gone through an experience of having some sort of fucking foreign object in a candy bar, it triggered me a little, right? Triggered me. So, anyways, like I don't know, I couldn't I I'm having a problem getting past some of the dialogue and stuff. But it's a Halloween movie. It's new Michael Myers. Michael Myers had some fucking amazing kills in it. And, I love fucking Friday the 13th. I love Jason Goes to Manhattan. And that's one of the worst fucking movies ever made. That's full of cringy dialogue and amazing
Mm.
kills. So, with that being said, I also give it an R because Michael Myers he was perfect in this movie from his look, from his attitude, his screen presence, his fucking kills. I loved every time he was on screen. I was very happy, and I'm eagerly anticipating Halloween ends, and I can't wait to see where the story goes. I just hope that this is kind of a wake up call for David Gordon Green and Danny McBride and all the other producers and writers and the director and all that. Like I hope okay, you're getting kind of a pass with this. If the next movie is fucking trash, I will destroy you on the internet.
All right.
But if it's not, I will praise you. I will praise you on the internet. Anyways, I give it
Alrighty.
an R.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I share a lot of the same sentiments as you. Here's my thought on this movie, though. The focus is Michael Myers. It really is. I know he's not 100% everything about this movie and on screen all the time, but this movie is about the plight of destruction and Michael Myers murdering en masse in the fucking town of Haddonfield 40 years after he went through his original murder spree. It's the aftermath of the initial part of the night. It's the follow ups to that. It's his revenge plot for things. It's everything. I fucking love it. The more that I focus on the fact that Michael Myers is truly portrayed as evil incarnate in this movie, the more I love what they've done with the character. And that is the most important part of this movie to me. Cringy, yeah,
I absolutely
cringy
agree. Yeah.
parts aside, um, what good fucking 80s horror movie really didn't have at least a couple of cringy scenes and acting bits? You know what I mean? Hell, Josh fucking adores that. Most of us really do.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
He's made a career of
That's my
Exactly.
fucking loving
favorite.
it.
That's his favorite shit. What I love is that that's all just the surrounding parts to the fact that we have the shape with a new badass mask, fucking absolutely on a mission. And as silly as some of the people are saying the mission is, he's still a fucking child in here.
Yeah, he's inept. Like he has no
Yeah,
thought power. He's just a
like they really make that.
But do we know that for sure, though? Like, there's never really been anything conclusive to say what his
No,
well,
mental
he's
state
not getting
is.
much
Obviously,
education in
there's,
a fucking institution, locked in a room in seclusion.
but they're
but he learned how
but
to
they're they're
drive.
they're alluding to a lot of that in this movie.
Self-intuitive.
They're alluding to the fact that even like when you see the 78 flashback with Hawkins and them when they're walking up the road, he's talking about the fact that Michael was never right in the head. He used to stare out his sister's window. What was he staring out at? That was a whole plot to this movie point, is that it made the distinction, because I got into a conversation online where somebody was like, did they ever actually explain his obsession with Laurie Strode in this movie? And somebody was like, no, not really. And I said, actually, they fucking did if you paid attention. There is no obsession with Laurie Strode. And they clearly state in this one that he
Yeah.
had no fucking need for
And
that.
I
Yeah, he had no
love
fucking
that.
need for that.
I love how Karen was like, "Oh, he found out where my mom lived and tried to kill her, and all this." And fucking like, Allison's like, "Yeah, the doctor." Like it
Yeah.
was like the same time talking to. No, the doctor
It's
took us, and like it was
it's the
his obsession and
juxtaposition because
stuff.
it shows that Michael's not the one obsessed; it's Laurie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
she's obsessed with the past. Michael is not obsessed with her. You know,
Yeah.
it's a weird fucking scenario. And of course, you know, Sartain was obsessed with the whole story and trying to get them together to see if that would help unlock something in Michael's, you know, state. But Michael just wants to go home. That's the literal fucking point of this. Michael is on a mission to go back to the house of his childhood.
The tagline since fucking '78 was "The
And
night
it's
he came
fucking
home."
perfect.
The new one is 40 years later. He comes home. I'm looking at taglines for Halloween Kills. The fucking more from the night evil came home. Like
Like it's
that's kind
simple.
of the point.
It's
He wants
fucking
to go home.
simple. And I
Yeah.
like that because they didn't try to overdo it. What's the fucking point? He came home and he murders anybody who gets in his fucking way. I love the fact that there's no other deeper meaning or explanation because that just doesn't complicate things then. You know what I mean? Like we've said it before, what's scarier than somebody who has no real fucking point in his murder spree? They were there. They got in his way, and
No,
it's
that's
fucking
terrifying.
terrifying. And that makes Michael in this movie a force to be reckoned with because it truly does state he had no fucking point except for just to murder who the fuck was in his way. Done. That was it. And I love it. It's perfect. It doesn't need to change. They don't need to complicate things any matter. What it needs to happen is Halloween Ends needs to basically be the plight of Laurie Strode trying to get revenge on Michael Myers, and I think that a fucking, you know, a Shakespearean ending with them killing each other at the fucking end would absolutely be,
Oh, that's the only way that it
it'd be
can
beautiful.
fucking end is that they
Yeah,
kill each other.
like she should not survive in my opinion, and neither should he. It should literally kill Michael Myers and Laurie Strode at the end of this trilogy, and then we get the fucking Season of the Witch sequel that they're talking about now, which I love.
Oh no, I heard that they're fucking doing. This is what I heard is that Allison is going to be the new Laurie Strode, and they're going to be dealing with fucking Myers copycats and like a fucking cult
Thorn,
of like
like
Myers
Alice
killers. Yeah,
Scream though,
but it's not going to be Thorn.
like Alice Scream,
What?
you know, copycat killers, a la Scream.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I heard you
All
there,
right.
Doug.
So to finish what I am saying about this movie,
Just fucking rate. Come
this
on,
movie
James.
felt like a continuation of 2018 in every sense of the way, and I love 2018, and for that I'm giving this movie an R rating as well. This movie deserves people's time. It deserves to be seen. I think people need to lighten up about this movie because it literally does what it's set out to do. It had Michael Myers murdering a ton of fucking people who got in his way. Period. And the
yep.
kills were fucking glorious.
Yes, but is it wrong for
Yes.
wanting more?
Yes.
Is it wrong for me wanting a little good fucking dialogue?
Yes, it's a whole
Having all that stuff.
You can
Yeah, but 2018
listen,
didn't
listen,
have
Timothy.
cringy dialogue like
Timothy,
that. No, I
there
will
are
not fucking
thousands,
listen.
thousands of horror movies. You can count them probably on one hand that have good dialogue. They're all shitty dialogue.
Josh has points. But that is where we leave it tonight, folks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode of They Cast from the Coast. This has been a great discussion. We barely ever really get to see. You're fucking done, and I said you're done.
Not
You're fucking taking off.
Oh my.
This has been a great discussion. It's rare that we ever get to see a brand new fucking movie altogether and then do an episode like this. So thank you everybody for tuning in. To the people who tuned in live, to the people who are going to watch this later, Check us out on Facebook, Misunderstood Art Company. Check us out on YouTube, Misunderstood Art Company. Like, share, subscribe, hit that little notifications icon so you are told when we have new content, usually every week. If not, it'll be every other week, depending on schedules and people's adulting lives.
It depends on Adam, whether
It
he
depends on
calls it
our
or not.
adult lives.
I'm going to
I'm
call
gonna
it,
call
boys.
it,
I'm going to
guys.
call it.
And we will be releasing this on every major podcasting platform. You're probably listening to it now if you do listen to our podcast. Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. And until next time, don't forget, we're also on Patreon. Open up your hearts and your wallets. Josh, take us out.
I mean, you got Big John, you got Little John, you got armpit stabs, you got a lady with an iron ready to fuck him up.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's got a lot going for it, let's be honest.
It does. It does. Tim.
Stay safe, stay spooky.
Have a good one, everybody. And if we don't see you, happy Halloween!
Good night.